Hey guys, today we're going to be going over the top 10 items purchased by RVers from our Amazon store. I was looking through all the data the other day, which by the way is completely anonymous. We can just see the number of purchases of a certain item. And I like to look through it every once in a while to kind of look at the trends and to see if there's any products that we need to buy ourselves.
Yes.
So let's roll that intro and get to it.
All right, so let's dive into the top 10 products purchased by you, RVers, and our Getaway gang on Amazon. And again, how we got this data, it's either products that we recommend and people end up purchasing, or if people just use our affiliate link and buy whatever they want, we get to see those products as well. But again, we don't see who's buying what, we just see the count of products purchased. So with that said, we'll be going from 10 to 1, you know, build up the anticipation here. So what is our number 10 item that RVers are buying on Amazon? We had to hide them all down here.
The top, or the bottom item, number 10, is actually something that I purchased for ourselves, and it is a fridge and freezer temperature monitor. So this thing is really awesome, and it comes with 2 temperature sensors, which will either suction cup into your fridge and freezer or will clip onto the bars. So I thought that was really cool. And then it actually has a monitor which has magnets on the back. So it goes right on the outside of the fridge and freezer, and you can actually set alarms. So this is really interesting to me because I'm actually going to try to get this data into our Home Assistant and collect the data. But for the vast majority of people out there, if you're trying to get your RV ready to head out for the weekend, it's pretty important to know if your fridge and freezer are cool enough to make sure that your food is safe. Or
yes. And it's just really interesting to watch your RV refrigerator's performance over summer and hot days and cold days and see how well it can keep up. So
yeah,
it's good information to have.
And I'm going to be adding fans on the inside, so I'll do this first and kind of track the temperature and then add the fans in to see if I get a big improvement. I've already added fans to the outside, but maybe I'll turn them off and check that one too. Yeah. Anyway, so cool. That is number 10.
Yes. And number 9 is, oh, sorry, babe. It feels silly pulling them off the floor, but what are you gonna do? So number 9 is a water meter. So this is really good for boondocking and for being in a campground if you just want to see how much water you are using. So for boondocking, you can put this on and see, because we're curious if our 60-gallon water bag actually can hold a full 60 gallons. So we're gonna test that out.
Yeah, well, so I actually borrowed a friend's when we were boondocking with them, and I noticed that when I fill up the water bag, what I think I fill it up to and what 60 gallons is completely different. I only fill it up to like 35 gallons, and that's when it looks full, and I turn it off because I'm like, oh man, this thing's gonna explode.
Oh, is that way when you refill the water, we run out of it so quickly?
It doesn't last as long, yeah, wow. And
wow.
So when I actually filled it up, it actually got, I think I still put only like 50 gallons in it because it was getting, it looked like it was going to explode.
Yeah, it does get very big and scary.
So very excited about this.
Yes. All right, ready for number, wait.
8. All right.
Already losing track.
Number 8. This is a sewer hose bumper cap, but this is actually a pretty cool special one, and we actually purchased this one for ourselves as well. So it comes in a pack of 2. You get your run-of-the-mill squeeze bumper cap that has holes for ventilation but still doesn't let bugs in, and it's just kind of a friction fit. And then the cool part of this pack is actually this magnet cap. So it has magnets that holds it onto the bumper. So this is your standard 4-inch RV bumper. And then it also has a connection here for you to put your hose onto, so you can hook the standard bayonet hose onto it. And so you can pull it out. And that has been definitely something we've dealt with, because we have 4 hoses in our RV. We have 2 in our bumper, and then 2 we have in our sewer hose holder. And the bumper one gets used the least, and that's because it's a pain to get it out, because it's in there very, very securely. So this is going to be a great addition, being able to easily pull that out. So that is very exciting.
Yes.
So number 8, magnet cap.
Yes, I'm glad we found that. All right, so then number 7 is another Camco product, but it is a clear connection for the sewer side. So we always recommend getting the clear elbow for the part that connects to your RV, so you can see if your water's running clear when you're flushing your black tank, and just making sure that everything is clean when you're actually cleaning out your tanks. But we also use this one as well for the other end of the hose, and it just kind of helps if you want to be very meticulous and see what's going in the hose and make sure it's coming out the hose as well. Or sometimes people just prefer this one over the clear elbow connection.
Yeah, and this one specifically, so it's the sewer extension, and the number one reason I even searched and tried to find this product, I didn't know it existed, but I went to go plug in the sewer hose into a slightly recessed sewer connection at a campground, and it wasn't long enough. And so when I was trying to like push it onto the sewer thing, I like scraped my knuckles, and that is not some place that you want to have any kind of open wound. And so I got very angry, and I was like, there has to be a solution out there, and Camco came up with it. So this extends the connection above. So you're able to screw your little orange connection in there, and then screw this, and then plug your sewer hose in like normal.
Yes, sometimes those sewer connections are very deep. I don't know why they make them like that, but this is definitely a great problem for that. All right, you ready for number 6?
Number 6. Water pressure regulator.
Yes, it's a great product, and we just like this water pressure regulator better than just the typical ones that screw on. This actually has the gauge, so you can see what you're looking at here. Yeah,
and you can actually adjust on the top using the screw. So this is the Regulator brand, which is highly recommended by us and by Amazon, and it comes with a 1-year warranty. So yeah, no wonder that it's number 6.
Yes, yeah, we're getting to the top here.
All right, number 5. You may have noticed from a recent video from Ray, and it is Papa Bag.
Yes. So I didn't think that this product would be so popular from my organizational video. If you missed that, I will link it up here. I reorganized our kitchen recently, and who doesn't have a bag full of bags? I just think everybody has that. And while that's not such a pain to have, I hated ours because it was just getting in the way. And now we put this under our kitchen sink on the door here, and we've had it for a couple months now, and I love it. So no wonder why it was so popular. Obviously people wanted to solve their bag in a bag problem.
Yeah, and I think this one's actually going in our truck, since we use that as kind of our second house. And I feel like we always have trash in there. We're always eating while on the road and stuff. So I think we'll start to take some of those plastic bags and we'll add them to the truck.
Yes.
All right, number 5 is a surprise, actually. This wasn't expected.
This?
No, it wasn't expected.
I think it's a great little tool.
Yeah.
Can you even guess what it is?
The sewer hose donut.
Yes. So I'm sure you've experienced this if you've been on the road for any amount of time, but you have probably learned that every sewer connection at every campground seems to be different. So this is for those campgrounds that either the threading is completely worn out or gone, or the ones that just don't have the threading. We like a really good seal on our sewer hose, so this tool you can just put it in the bottom there, and then you would take your sewer hose connection and just put it in there.
So it seals the smells and the liquids in, and keeps them from coming out all over the campground. The other thing is these things are actually legally required. I think we've been at some campgrounds. We've been to 2 or 3 that have actually made it where we had to use this. So it's not all over the place, it's not widespread, but we have run into it ourselves while out on the road. So it's a cheap addition to make sure you have and just throw it into your sewer hose kit.
Yes, and I think those few campgrounds that require it are the ones who don't have a threaded sewer hose, so it's kind of like a regulation for the city to make sure that it's still being sanitary and sewer water isn't going everywhere. All right, ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Oh, this is from another video.
All right, you might recognize these door stops from a video that we did about
over a year ago.
Yeah, just learning in one of the Facebook groups, someone actually added these door stops to the AC ducts, and it added just a little bit of turbulence to cause the air to flow out of the AC a little bit more. So we didn't have anything to test this with, but recently I just got a meter to learn how to test wind speed, and so I'm gonna be testing how efficient these are actually.
Yes.
In the ducts.
So we'll be taking some out, so we might need these to replace the other ones. We're not so sure how sticky they are.
All right.
All right, are we up to number, oh, we're up to number 2.
Number 2,
this is
most ordered item from our Amazon store.
Yes, and for us personally, this should be number 1 with how much we recommend it. So if you've watched our channel, you've watched our second video ever, you know that we always recommend wheel chocks. So we forgot to put the wheel chocks in our second week on the road, and we were on a slanted site. So when we unhitched the trailer from the truck, it started to roll back. And the only thing that stopped it was the front jacks were down, so those dug into the ground. We thought we broke our jacks, but we didn't. And we had one of the tires up on some leveling blocks. So when the tires rolled back, the leveling blocks stopped that front tire. So that could have been very scary. It was very scary, but it could have been scarier if we didn't have those 2 things stopping the trailer. So, learn from our mistakes. I don't care if we are on 100% flat ground now, the most level ground you've ever seen, we always chalk our tires.
Yeah, and the thing we like about these, we've been using, these are the Max Haul rubber chocks. The things we like about them is they're heavy duty. They stop our 16,000 pound RV. We do get 2 sets of 2, and we're using these actually to replace ours. They've lasted 3 years, and they're still doing
3.5 now.
Yeah, 3.5. They're still in great shape, but it was.
Well, we saw these on the list, and we said, yeah, let's get some new ones.
Yeah, they're relatively cheap, and they got that new rubber smell.
They do.
Yeah, and I do like they have a smooth surface, and then also like a jagged surface, and so depending on where we are, whether we're on like cement or in the gravel is what side I put down. But yeah, so wheel chocks, number 2, and I know you guys are all excited to see the number 1 thing ordered by RVers from our Amazon store, and it should come as no surprise. Happy Camper.
Yes. We really like Happy Camper. When we first started RVing, we kind of went through everything that was on the market. We did the drop-in packets, which weren't bad, but we just noticed some of the times if we didn't drop them in soon enough, if like the next day or 2 days later we emptied the tanks, we would see the packet come out, so it didn't fully dissolve. And then we tried liquid, and liquid's fine too, but you know, traveling with liquid is always a little risky, and so we love the powder form, and it's really easy to mix in, and we like that it's powder because it can go in every single tank.
Yeah, that was the problem with the drop-ins. you couldn't really put them in your gray tanks. I mean, you have to
Right.
open them up anyway, and it's kind of like, well, why did I spend extra for an easy drop in if I have to open it up? Liquid was fine, but liquid just didn't really do
Yeah.
what we
needed-
wanted it to do, which is stop the tanks from sinking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, so these are some great products, and I have to admit, when we originally wanted to look at this data and see what are people ordering the most of, this isn't what I was expecting, but it makes sense because all of these items are really important to RVers, and they're just great products. There isn't one thing on this table that I wouldn't recommend to every single newbie or experienced RVer.
Yeah, and I was very interested to see that it wasn't like your common things like freshwater hoses or sewer hoses, but I guess you don't really buy those that often.
Yeah.
So these things are definitely more useful to the everyday RVer.
Yes, and again, even we got some recommendations because this is what people are buying through our link, whether we recommended it or not. So
Yeah.
I'm glad to see a good mixture of new products for us to use and products that we are recommending that you guys are loving.
So we want to know what's your favorite product that you've purchased off of Amazon. Leave us a comment down below.
Yes. And I will have links to all of these products if you want to snag some for yourself in the description of this video, and I'll try and pin it in the first comment if I remember. But other than that, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to join our Getaway gang. We'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Is it the same shirt you wore in last week's video?
Maybe. I like this shirt.
She's been sitting all morning, but now...
The amount of video clips we have of Carmen drinking water is astonishing.
You want to do the intro? Do you want to do the intro?
Sure.
Okay, ready?
All right. Are you gonna go?
Yeah.